Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Trades Talk. I am your host, Pop. And in this stream, we take things from an industrial point of view. We check out some news and industry, some articles that are written about the skilled trades, and some pictures and videos on projects that I've been a part of. So come along with me as we explore the skilled trades. Got that stealth startup mode. I don't mean to. It's probably YouTube. I do have the countdown and then the intro. The intro's usually got some music to it, but All right, let's get right into the news here, and then just want to say hello to you, David. I'm glad to see that things worked out with your dishwasher. I will also be checking out some of the, because you said duct tape and you used it, it brought up something that I had ordered earlier or last week was some duct tape, but it was a special kind of duct tape. Apparently residue free for 6 months. So you can peel it off and it won't leave any of the residue that you usually get with regular duct tape. So we can check that out after. To start, what do we got here? Oh yes, U.S. tariffs could become catalyst to bolster Canadian food supply chain. That's what the experts are saying. We'll see about that. Experts say U.S. tariffs on Canadian goods could accelerate a push to ramp up domestic food processing and manufacturing, even as some companies consider moving operations south. But if real change is to happen, they say more government support is needed. Oh no, that sounds like they're just going to ask for more money. That's what it sounds like. More government support. Government support means they want taxpayers' money. Until we actually focus our attention on a strong manufacturing strategy for food in this country, we're just going to continue to try to incentivize people to do things, but not necessarily have a strong plan in place, said Michael Graydon, CEO of Food, Health and Consumer Products of Canada. Incoming U.S. President Donald Trump has threatened high tariffs on imports from countries including Canada, raising concerns about inflation within the U.S., but also the potentially devastating impact on Canadian agriculture and food companies, as well as consumers. Canada's food processing and manufacturing capacity has declined significantly in recent decades, as the country's reliance on imported products rose, said Graydon. But after the supply chain struggles of the COVID pandemic and other disruptions, I think there's a resurrection of this desire to be more self-sufficient. I don't know why you wouldn't want to be. You should try your hardest to be self-sufficient. Not just as a country, but as an individual. Don't be dependent on the government to support you, because that's how they subjugate you. If they're like, if you want your food stamps, or if you want to eat, or you want your power, you better, do things that we want you to do, like don't protest and, don't resist. So always try to be self-sufficient as much as you can. Canada generally has a trade surplus with the U.S. when it comes to food, meaning it exports more than it imports, said Tyler McCann, Managing Director of the Canadian Agri-Food Policy Institute, but there are some products where Canada relies heavily on imports from the U.S. Experts said Canada is particularly vulnerable when it comes to those products, such as fruits and vegetables and processed foods like jams, sauces, and snacks. Those areas could be good targets for boosting domestic capacity, said McCann. Honestly, jams, sauces, and snacks, I could care less. Really. It's just processed food. Today there are several pushes and pulls sparking interest in reinvesting in domestic operations, said Evan Fraser, director of the Arrell Food Institute at the University of Guelph. Technology is one of them, he said, as Canada now has more tools to grow fresh produce year-round. But on a broader level, he said supply chain disruptions and geopolitical tensions are sparking more interest in so-called nearshoring, or moving operations closer to home. How about just move them to home? That would be my thing. Roderick McRae, a retired associate professor at York University's Faculty of Environment and Urban Change, agrees there's a larger shift happening. One that makes it crucial to build back resilience into the domestic food system. I think international trade is breaking down, he said. Yeah, David, dance, monkey, dance. Oh, yes, and make sure everybody that's listening, make sure you got live chat on and you are all caught up in the stream. Make sure, because, sometimes YouTube likes to buffer things a lot. Just make sure you're all caught up. Some recent investments on Canadian soil include a soy processing facility in Ontario, expected to open next year. Hershey returning to the Ontario facility it vacated in 2007. U.S. company Blommer Chocolate expanding its Ontario site, and an investment by McCain Foods to double the size and output of a processing facility in Alberta. The Canola Council of Canada previously told the Canadian press that the industry has been expanding its domestic processing in recent years to mitigate potential trade or supply chain disruptions. More domestic capacity would help keep prices on some items stable, said Fraser. But it's easier said than done to build up that capacity, said Graydon. The costly multi-year projects need more government support, i.e. more money, I'm thinking, for there to be a real shift, he said, and not just government money, but a strong food manufacturing strategy. How about farming? Make sure you get farming in there, okay? That's important too. Don't just worry about processing food. Make sure you're getting, the salt of the earth people, the farmers. Get them involved because we need them. Otherwise, everybody starve if there's no farmers. In other areas of the industry where there's a significant trade surplus with U.S. tariffs may make companies wary of investing further in Canadian operations. Seems like the uncertainty will really put an investment chill on Canadian food processing, he said, which could include companies holding off on expanding or upgrading existing plants. McCann said it's more likely that, for now, major companies will delay investing in their current facilities rather than packing up shop and moving capacity south of the border. But if we get into a world with 25% tariffs that look like they're going to be in place for an extended period of time, the likelihood of that increases over time. Can't agree. The government should be doing more to prevent that from happening. You can't. You can't. You don't go around threatening your trading neighbor. If they're going to put a tariff on it, so be it. It's going to happen. It's and that's only if you like I've said before, all Trump said was you got to stop the flow of drugs and illegal immigrants. So why not worry about that? And then he won't put a tariff on. It's that simple. I think we need to see more of a comprehensive approach from the government around how are they going to support those businesses that are at risk of moving to the United States. If you don't want to be here, get out. Okay? Just leave. The government shouldn't have to make it so it's free for you to be here. Several business groups this week called on the government to help Canadian firms mitigate the harmful effects of potential tariffs and retaliation. Dennis Darby, Canadian Manufacturing Exporters President and CEO, said businesses are responding to the uncertainty by pausing plans to invest in operations or expand, and he's concerned some could move production to the U.S. We're already seeing a bit of a chill on investment and expansion and a chill on hiring, he said. The crazy Canadian companies may be concerned about Trump's promises, but they won't be hasty with their decisions. I'd be surprised if somebody's prepared to make major shifts in their production capacity based on what Trump says. That would be foolish. Also, people just packing up and moving to the States, unless your employees are going to be loyal and stick with you and train the new people, yeah, you're going to have a hard time. I'll tell you right now. Get that value-added manufacturing dollar from the farm to the grocery store. There you go. Farms are important. Donald Trump signals 25% tariffs on Canadian imports could be coming February 1st. Well, now, that's not too far away. U.S. President Donald Trump suggested his administration could move ahead with the 25% across-the-board tariffs on Canadian imports on February 1st. He delivered the deadline on Monday evening at the White House as he signed a stack of unrelated executive orders. We are thinking in terms of 25% on Mexico and Canada because they're allowing vast numbers of people. Canada's a very bad abuser also. Vast numbers of people to come in and fentanyl to come in. See? We read this weeks ago that if you stop the illegal immigrants from coming in and the drugs, so they're putting this on to make it so that we'll try to stop. I think I agree with that. Just stop, crack down on the border, crack down on the drugs, and he won't slap a 25% tariff on. That's all it takes. But obviously, the politicians aren't going to listen up here. The February date comes after the Trump officials speaking anonymously suggested to reporters that the Republican president would only sign a memorandum telling federal agencies to study trade issues, including alleged unfair trade and currency practices by Canada, Mexico, and China. An executive order from the president late Monday mandating the studies set an April 1st deadline for the reports, well after his suggestion that tariffs will happen in February. Trump also said he may consider imposing a universal tariff on all countries. We're not ready for that yet, Trump said. Essentially, all countries take advantage of the U.S. Foreign Affairs Minister Mélanie Joly called it an important moment for Canadians after Trump announced the date. Well, I mean, we'll see. He's just asking them to look into it, so. We're calling on every single political leader across the board, across the country, to stand united because now more than ever we need to make sure we put country first, Joly said at a cabinet retreat in Montebello, Quebec. Finance Minister Dominique LeBlanc said Ottawa is absolutely ready for Trump tariffs, adding that Canada has responses prepared for various scenarios. It's like Florida dealing with that one adult website. Yeah, there you go. Federal government sources have said if Trump sets the tariffs at 25%, Canada's response would be to impose counter tariffs worth roughly $37 billion and possibly follow up with another $110 billion in tariffs. If the duties are lower, Canada's tariffs response will be more modest. Don't get into a pissing match with these guys. They're gonna make it hard on us. Trump, who gave his inaugural address earlier Monday in the Capitol Rotunda, focused largely on concerns about immigration at the Mexican border and touched on prosecutions of himself and his supporters, suggesting he still has an eye on tariffs. Trump said he was going to overhaul the trade system to protect American workers and families. Notice our idiot isn't doing that up here, eh? The moronic Prime Minister of Canada doesn't talk like that. He doesn't say he's trying to protect Canadian families and workers. He doesn't say anything like that. He's a pathetic excuse for a human being. Instead of taxing our citizens to enrich other countries, we will tariff and tax foreign countries to enrich our citizens, he said during his inaugural address. That's the way you do it. I like that idea better. Federal and provincial officials in Washington were relieved the tariffs on Canadian goods were not part of Trump's inaugural speech. I mean, he said Canada can't afford to be complacent ahead of what could be a brutal hit to the economy. It's always good news when you're not mentioned, so I prefer that, said Liberal MP John McKay, who co-chairs the Canada-U.S. Interparliamentary Group. In an interview inside the Canadian Embassy in Washington, McKay said Ottawa has an opportunity to establish an agreed-upon set of facts, as opposed to nonsense, which is currently occupying the public space. Trump has insisted for weeks that Washington is subsidizing Canada at an annual rate of $100 billion, a claim McKay calls just nonsense. Trade Minister Mary Ng sought to reassure Canadians earlier Monday, saying that Ottawa and the provinces have taken a Team Canada approach to convincing Americans that tariffs and restrictions on Canadian goods would only hurt U.S. jobs. We are ready and we are prepared, Ng said. But Doug Ford is all tough and scary. Yeah. You know what I say to him? Shut up and sit down. You're just the premier of a province, all right? You're not the leader of the whole country. Worry about what's going on in your own province. Oh, what's up, DJ? Ronnie G. You forgot it's not Wednesday. It is not Wednesday. It's Tuesday, which is Trade Stock Day. Alberta Premier Danielle Smith said she saw opportunity for Canada in Trump's speech when he said he would declare a national energy emergency to drive down prices at the pump and export American energy all over the world. Smith said Canada can form a perfect partnership with the U.S. to provide oil and gas at stable prices so the Americans can focus on boosting their own energy exports. Oh, you took the day off, DJ. Right on, man. Hey, what's up? It's Carl from the RNG Gaming Podcast. How you doing? We're just going over this tariffs that may happen between Canada and the U.S. We'll find out what goes on here. Americans want to have energy dominance globally, and I believe the best way for them to achieve that is for Canada to be a partner in that, she said. If their asks are reasonable, then let's meet them halfway. Last week, Smith refused to sign a joint statement with other premiers and Prime Minister Justin Trudeau that said every possible countermeasure would be on the table to push back against U.S. tariffs. Smith, who recently traveled to Trump's Mar-a-Lago resort in Florida to meet with the president-elect, broke from the pack by refusing to consider any plan that would include possible levies on oil exports or cutting off energy supplies to the U.S. Yes, good for her. Don't do that. The freezing your twig and berries off. Yo, my twig and berries. Frozen. It got up to about 0 here today. Maybe 1 degree Celsius. So it's about 33, 34 degrees Fahrenheit. It was nice. It was nice. Wind picked up, but it was nice not to be frigid. In a statement issued Monday, Trudeau congratulated Trump on his inauguration and cited Canada's effort to secure the border in response to the Republican leader's demands for a crackdown on migrants and drugs. We are strongest when we work together, Trudeau wrote. When asked who would be in his first foreign meeting, Trump said he'd already had meetings. He pointed to Trudeau making a repeated jab about making Canada the 51st state by calling him a governor. Well, I don't want him as a governor. Can we have somebody else? And being the 51st state, I would be okay with that. As long as we get, the Bill of Rights and the Constitution that the United States have, I'd be very happy with that. Monday's inauguration presented a scene quite different from Trump's first inauguration in 2017, when he painted a bleak picture of what he called American carnage, a speech that was overshadowed in the news cycle by his claims about crowd sizes. The celebrations also offered a stark contrast to the nature of Trump's departure from the nation's capital 4 years ago in the wake of the January 6th Capitol Hill attack. Trump refused to accept the outcome. The 2020 election is... why are we talking about this? Why would you... This is supposed to be about the tariffs going up. But no, some idiot decided to yap it up about what happened January the 6th. Outside, thousands of people wearing Trump toques and hats braved the frigid weather near the Capital One Arena, where Trump spoke later after his inaugural address. Kenneth Johnson, visiting the Capitol from Boulder City, Nevada, said he believes Trump will stop other countries from taking advantage of the U.S. and bring down the cost of groceries. We're getting rid of the corruption. We're getting rid of the baloney, he said, citing President Joe Biden's last-minute pardon of administration officials who might face retribution from Trump. Our nation's going to be back under control, he said. Well, at least for 4 years. I don't know what's going to happen after that. We basically waste our taxpayer money, so I'm excited about that, he said. I'm not too concerned. The tariffs will come. We'll deal with it. We're not going to... It's dumb to fight back. It's dumb to spitball back and forth. Just do what he asks. Stop the drug. Stop the illegal immigrants. Or make a showing that you are doing something to secure the border better. Anyway. Century Lithium signs an MOU with Orica for sodium hydroxide supply. You don't comprehend how food is impacted by tariffs, but it supposedly is. It is because we import it, right? California oranges, Oregon apples, Florida grapefruit, stuff like that gets imported, and they slap a old tariff on there. Hey, what's up, Irate Specialist? How you doing, man? Long time no see. Let's see what we got here. This is just a MOU, Memorandum of Understanding. But it's to do with lithium, so. Oh, you're referring to internally, DJ. Okay, I gotcha. Yeah, doing okay, all right. Doing good. Century Lithium Corp, a Canadian advanced stage lithium company, signed a non-binding memorandum of understanding with Orica Specialty Mining Chemicals on January 16th. The non-binding MOU outlines the intent of Century Lithium and Orica to formalize a multi-year offtake agreement for Orica to purchase sodium hydroxide from Century Lithium's wholly owned Angel Island project near Silver Peak, Nevada. Orica is mining and infrastructure solutions provider and a major U.S. manufacturer and supplier of specialty chemicals to Nevada's mining industry. The non-binding MOU with Orica marks a key milestone for Angel Island, said Century Lithium President and CEO Bill Willoughby. The MOU outlines the first expected agreement of its kind for the project and involves a large portion of the surplus sodium hydroxide anticipated during the early years of operation. We are excited to work with Orica and have their support at this stage of development at Angel Island. Orica President Specialty Mining Chemicals Andrew Stewart said that this collaboration signifies our commitment to strengthening and unlocking Nevada's manufacturing and mining sectors by securing a reliable source of sodium hydroxide. From Angel Island, we strengthen the local supply chain and reinforce our dedication to innovate U.S. manufacturing solutions for our customers in North America. Century Lithium's patent-pending process for extracting lithium from the claystone at Angel Island combines chloride leaching with direct lithium extraction and uses salt in the form of solid sodium chloride or saline brine to make the reagents for leaching and pH control. In addition to lithium, the process produces surplus sodium hydroxide, the sales of which are reportedly anticipated to underpin low operating costs for Angel Island's primary product, lithium carbonate. And the highlights of the MOU: Century Lithium intends to provide Orica membrane-grade sodium hydroxide, initial 5-year term, rights of first offer for an additional 5 years, pricing to be determined by definitive agreement. Orica Century Lithium relationship will strengthen U.S. supply chain, reducing reliance on imports of sodium hydroxide to the western U.S. and supporting Nevada's mining industry. Good for you, Nevada. Good for you guys. Okay, sweeping tariffs could be 3% hit to Canadian economy, even with carve-outs. A CIBC report. CIBC is one of the banks up here. Report says sweeping tariffs imposed by the U.S. could cost the Canadian economy as much as 3.25%, even factoring in possible exemptions for the oil and gas sector. An analysis published Tuesday examined 4 potential scenarios in which U.S. President Donald Trump slaps new taxes on goods imported from Canada, ranging from 10 to 20% and with possible carve-outs for key industries. Speaking with reporters on Monday evening, Trump said he's thinking about hitting Canada and Mexico with 25% tariffs on February 1st. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has said Canada would respond and that everything is on the table. Yeah, I mean, that guy can just shut up. He's no strong leader. This Prime Minister Trudeau, he's not a strong leader. He should just go away. Get lost. The CIBC report says a 20% tariff that excludes commodities, which make up almost half of Canadian exports to the U.S., would still result in a GDP hit of 3.25%. Under a more conservative scenario, where only a 10% tariff is applied and excludes both commodities and the auto sector, the impact of the Canadian economy would be around 1.35%. The report suggests the Trump administration might not want to tax those sectors which rely heavily on close integration with Canadian counterparts, as doing so would come at a key cost to American jobs, contradict Trump's cheap energy initiatives, and materially increase inflation. Yeah, so there you go. That's the news from Plant Magazine. Still worried about tariffs, but I'm not going to worry about it. Trump's a negotiation master. He threatens tariffs in order to reduce the tariffs on importing U.S. goods. Yeah. No, that's what I mean. Like, and I've said before, like last week and the week before, it was like our government and people here were fear-mongering, because, oh no, Trump's going to put tariffs on. It's like, yeah, just do what he says. Clamp down on immigration and stop the flow of drugs. At least show that you're trying to do that. And then maybe he won't put a big tariff on you. Okay, that's it for that. Let's switch over to article here from Education News Canada. This is titled Harnessing the Power of Polytechnic Education to Fuel Saskatchewan's Growth. Saskatchewan is the province right next door to me here, to the east. Looks like a giant rectangle. Very easy to draw. While Saskatchewan's economy surges ahead, our labor force is struggling to keep up. The mismatch threatens our economic momentum, challenging sectors from agriculture to healthcare, mining and manufacturing, to trades and technology. Polytechnics like Saskatchewan Polytechnic are uniquely positioned to transform today's challenge into tomorrow's opportunity. The headlines from both government and industry have been fast and furious. Saskatchewan will need 15,000 workers in the mining industry in the next decade. Farmers turn to automation to address labor shortage. Shortage of skilled tradespeople is hitting all Canadians in the pocketbook. This is what I've been saying for a long time, you guys. Shortage, skilled tradesmen. Labor gaps and skill shortages across sectors threaten project delays and slow our province's red-hot economy. And that's before you take into account shifts like the move to clean energy tech and the introduction of small modular reactors, both of which require a skilled nuclear workforce, or nuclear. This has become an urgent concern for our industry and employer partners eager to take advantage of a global uptick in demand for Saskatchewan's food, fuel, and fertilizer. Our province's competitive advantage lies in its resource-rich economy, but without skilled workers, we risk falling behind. That's where polytechnics come in. Polytechnics, by their very design, are built to adapt quickly to evolving labor market needs. They focus on delivering career-specific applied education and can pivot rapidly to address emerging skill gaps. Close relationships with industry partners ensure programs and curriculum remain relevant and aligned with real-time workforce demands. Polytechnics are experts at developing flexible learning pathways that lend themselves to rapid realignment. Micro-credentials, certifications, and other short-term programs are introduced and updated more quickly than traditional degree programs. With the world increasingly turning to Saskatchewan resources, including uranium, potash, and critical minerals, the mining industry is facing workforce shortages and recruitment challenges. Sector-wide, a shortfall of more than 4,000 additional workers is looming by 2034. At the same time, technology and automation are shifting the skill sets needed to power growth and transformation in the mining industry. To respond to these challenges, the International Minerals Innovation Institute provided funding for Sask Polytech to develop a virtual mine lab. Virtual reality headsets simulate a real mining environment and allow students to explore the skills needed on a job site, including safety protocols and operational procedures. Innovative teaching tools like this, along with work-integrated learning, apprenticeships, co-op terms, and applied research initiatives give learners real-world experience and skills while at the same time helping business innovate and address operational challenges. As Saskatchewan prepares to introduce small modular reactors into its energy mix, Sask Polytech is plugged into the planning process and already considering curriculum and capacity options. We've already applied the same agility to the urgent need for highly trained healthcare workers. When the province announced its Health Human Resources Action Plan in September 2022, Sask Polytech moved quickly to add seats, not only to its nursing programs, but other in-demand specialties, including medical lab technologist and medical radiation technologist programs. We've continued to expand those programs and others, adding seats to psychiatric nursing in 2024. You started teaching these skills in high school, and you don't know if they ever did that in Canada? Yeah, when I went to school, we had something called industrial education, and we did like metalwork, woodwork, and drafting, that sort of stuff. And you got to, get a hands-on approach with some tools and making stuff and working with lathes and all that kind of stuff, and even electronics. And then the other half of the year was called, what was that? Home ec. So we would do home economics. So you'd learn how to sew, how to use a sewing machine, how to cook, how to make simple stuff. You could actually bake stuff in your class. And that was stuff that wasn't too long ago. That was late 80s that they did that. So there was schools that did have, industrial education and home economics that they would teach. Hey, Alex Moore, how you doing? Home ec died in early 2000s for you? Oh, that's unfortunate. No, that's terrible that those are some of the first classes that get chopped. It's a shame. The exposure is needed. Too many young people now don't even know how to, boil water. They don't even know how to cook properly. Or simple sewing on a button. Or, how to hold a screwdriver properly. It's just unbelievable. I say bring that stuff back. Bring it back into the schools. Get rid of the, stuff that you don't need. And get yourself kids that are going to grow up to actually be able to take care of themselves rather than have somebody else do that. Yeah, changing a flat. Exactly. How to read the damn manual to see where you put the jack on a car. You can't just put the jack anywhere. Some cars are quite specific where it has to go. So, if they can at least read and know that is a real thing you have to do. Find the right spot to jack it up from. And then find the spare tire, because sometimes it's not so obvious. It's probably not a full-size spare either. Oh, where do we go here? The 14-week transition to registered nursing program for internationally educated nurses has attracted interest from institutions across Canada seeking to emulate its success. Last year, we signed a contract with Prince Edward Island to provide a hybrid alternative where the clinical skills and education portion is delivered by Sask Polytech in that province. Skilled workers are the fuel that powers our province and indeed our country, and there's never been a more powerful tool with proven track record to address labor and skill shortages than a polytechnic education. Each and every day, polytechnics are creating innovative pathways to translate viable into visionary. Yeah, so good for you, Saskatchewan Polytechnic. Yeah, everybody should know how to change a tire. You watch a kid try and change a tire. All of us older guys sat around watching this kid for an hour. Oh, irate. That would have been painful. Well, funny at first, but then it would have just gotten to the point where it's like, this is painful to watch. Yeah, it's just unbelievable how many of them don't know about that. I found this one from Forbes, how tech, AI, and leadership are shaping the future of skilled trades. Well, we'll see about that. Hey, what's up, Godzillionaire? Everybody's favorite kaiju. Will Cybertrucks change their own tires? I don't think Cybertrucks can even make it up a hill. From what I've seen, a lot of these YouTube shorts I've been watching, those Cybertrucks are just garbage. Don't even call them a truck. It's not meant to be taken anywhere off-road. Sometimes even has hard time on actual pavement. Yeah, I would not call that a truck. I don't know why Elon okayed that, or, whoever designed it should be fired. It's just terrible. You were taking bets he could hear you? Oh, that's good. Nothing like a little motivation. Little chocolate donut tire. There you go. That's right, David. That's what they usually are. You can only go about 80K an hour or 50 miles an hour on them. You're not supposed to go any faster. You found one of those suits for sale. This upper body section. It's $5,000. One of these ones? This futuristic, the bionic exoskeleton? First of all, look how this guy's bending. Like, that's not proper lifting technique. You got to bend your knees more than that. Your back should be way more straight. Terrible. Terrible posture. Wow, $5,000. Never mind. I'll go get the forklift. Hey, what's up, Boris? How you doing, man? I saw you were playing some games earlier, or games there. You'd be afraid of one of those exoframe things bending on its own and snapping me. It goes backwards, eh? You're trying to bend forward. The thing's like, nah, you're going to bend you backwards. And then snap you in half, yeah. Okay, let's get through this. It's a Forbes article, so we'll see how much credibility there is there. Long regarded as the backbone of industries such as construction, manufacturing, and infrastructure development, the skilled trades sector is undergoing a profound transformation. Electricians, plumbers, construction pros, welders, and other tradesmen have long been the unsung heroes of economic progress. Yet, the industry now faces a daunting labor shortage. According to U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, construction and extraction occupations alone will require 663,000 new workers annually between 2023 and 2033 due to the employment growth and workforce attrition. At Accelerate, we serve clients across diverse industries, but one sector consistently stands out: construction. Through close partnerships with mid-sized and enterprise-level construction firms across the U.S. and Canada, we've gained first-hand insight into the industry's challenges and opportunities based on our experience. The statistics don't just reflect trends, they mirror the realities we witness daily in the field. This crisis is further exacerbated by the rapid retirement of experienced professionals, leaving a widening skills gap that threatens operational continuity. In response, industry leaders are leveraging advanced technologies, automation, AI, software, and even robotics to reimagine traditional workflows, enhance productivity, and attract the next generation of skilled professionals. These innovations not only address immediate labor shortages, but also lay the groundwork for long-term economic resilience. I'll believe that when I see it. First of all, AI can't do my job. Automation can't do my job. Software, no. I use software for my job. That's what it. Robotics is not gonna do my job. So I think they're barking up the wrong tree. I think they're not thinking clearly as to what they need to do. Bridging the labor gap through automation. The mass retirement of baby boomers is accelerating workforce shortages across multiple skilled trade sectors, causing skills gaps and cultural challenges, and forcing companies to adopt automation as a strategic imperative rather than a mere efficiency booster. Here's something I found quite interesting. The rise of robotics as a service, or RaaS, is fundamentally altering the economics of automation, shifting it from high-risk capital expenditure to a scalable, subscription-based model. A subscription model for robots. Amazing. Well, it doesn't sound too amazing to me. It sounds pretty stupid. It's almost like games as a service. So you're going to have robotics as a service. You're going to have to subscribe to them. And if you don't subscribe, your robot shuts down. Shuts your whole plant down. Oh, Festool 5777340 exoskeleton exoactive exo. It's $3,500. Wow. $3,500, eh? Here, let's have a look here. You threw the thanks for throwing that link in there, David. Should be able to look at it. There we go. Okay. Purchase online, go to a dealer. Okay. Strap into it. All right. I mean, is it just like a wearable vacuum? Or a wearable power supply? Okay, extra power for your arms. Work effortlessly, even overhead. The exoactive exoskeleton now makes light work of strenuous overhead tasks, whether it's sanding, drywall, compound painting, wallpapering, or installation on walls or ceilings. The exoactive gives you a boost when your arms get tired and helps to take the load off your body. Less physical exertion means greater efficiency, greater focus on the quality of your work, and greater enjoyment of your work. You can regulate the required power on the exoskeleton in a matter of seconds, so you get targeted support precisely when it's needed. The exoactive is lightweight and easy to wear, just like a backpack, and could also be adjusted to your individual height. Okay. But then how are you supposed to get those big arms? What do we got here? It's 18 volts. Okay. 50 newtons force per arm. Battery, 4.0 amp hour battery. 1.5 to 5 hours. Only 4 amp hours? I mean, you could get more than that. They should have it like the DeWalt or the Milwaukee plugins. You can do like a double up, get 2 4 amp hour batteries or 2 5 amp hour batteries. Okay, there they are. Charger, high power battery pack. Yeah, it's 18 volt. Okay. Got a headrest, support harness. Huh. I mean, we're looking at this picture. Shouldn't you go get a ladder? Go get a ladder, and that way you won't be going at it from an angle if you're trying to drill a hole. Same there. Go get a ladder. I don't know. It might be okay. You're doing that physically demanding stuff. Yeah, your arms are going to get tired, but you'll also build up your arm muscles, your arm strength. You'll be able to hold stuff. That looks neat. You definitely want to see it. You'd have to see it in practice. Where's the closest dealer here? In order to see this content, you must agree to use it to the use of it locally. Okay. No, that's not good. They make 12 amp hour battery packs. Wow. 12 amp hours. That's good stuff. We just got a little bit oh no, we got quite a bit to go here. The unique thing about RAS is it allows companies to access cutting-edge robotics technologies without the risky cash-intensive capital investment previously required. As a result, we're seeing innovation and scalability like never before in manufacturing and the skilled trades. However, automation success depends on more than technological advancement. It requires effective leadership and change management. Misconceptions persist that automation and AI-powered software threaten job security. But visionary leaders recognize that these tools are not about replacement, they're about augmentation. Leaders must shift perceptions of automation from something to fear into something workers can get excited about because they see their own capabilities can continue to contribute. Explains Amir Paul, U.S. country president of Schneider Electric. The challenge, therefore, is not just implementing technology, but articulating its value, ensuring that workers understand how automation enhances, not eliminates their roles. The digital transformation of skilled trades. It reminds you of the segue, a solution in search of a problem. That thing didn't last too long now, did it? People were like, oh, look, the Segway, I don't have to walk anymore. And then people got hurt on the things, and they're like, oh, these things are terrible. And now you don't see them at all. Despite incremental progress, the skilled trade sector lags in digital adoption, creating inefficiencies that cost time and resources. A 2018 survey of U.S. construction executives found that nearly half still relied on manual data collection, an outdated approach that hampers decision-making and slows productivity, according to the AEC Business. Beyond the statistics, we've witnessed this reality firsthand in every construction organization we partner with for the leadership, development, and organizational transformation. For instance, when implementing our software platform designed to enhance rapid learning and cross-functional collaboration, we take a measured, phased approach to integration. Rolling out new technology in small, incremental stages is essential into mitigating technology fatigue and preventing disruptions that could inadvertently reduce efficiency. This strategic implementation ensures seamless adoption, empowering teams to leverage innovation without overwhelming existing workflows. Whew, word salad there, everybody, word salad. You had a manager run into an employee and send them to the hospital. They got rid of them after that. Wow. Yeah, I guess that's the thing, eh? It's like, oh, these things aren't worth the trouble. Freaking segues. One of the most transformative innovations is the rise of collaborative robots, or cobots, which work alongside human operators to perform repetitive, hazardous, or precision-intensive tasks. This human-machine synergy enhances productivity, safety, and quality, giving businesses a competitive advantage over traditional labor-intensive models. However, these systems still require human oversight, programming, and strategic integration, aligned with effective leadership at every level of any organization. Utilizing this type of technology will be critical for success. Robots are not replacing human workers, but filling the labor gap, allowing skilled tradesmen to focus on complex, judgment-driven tasks that technology cannot yet replicate. This shift creates a competitive edge for businesses willing to embrace automation, turning an existential workforce challenge into a growth opportunity. As for engagement, this shift also moved the workforce into less repetitive and more complex roles, which increase employee satisfaction. At least that's what you think. No, they got rid of the segues, David. Attracting the tool belt generation through innovation. I've still yet to see this tool belt generation. This has been a big topic with our client. How do we continue to attract the younger workforce when they have so many other options? Who wrote this? This is terrible. It's supposed to be so many, not some many. But there's good news. While automation and AI are reshaping the industry, the most pressing challenge remains human capital. Skilled workers are still needed to build, maintain, and evolve these technologies. Fortunately, Gen Z is rising to the occasion. The college affordability crisis and the rise of alternative career pathways have helped transform Gen Z into the so-called tool belt generation, says Ted Jenkins, CEO and founder of Oxygen Financial. They got rid of the manager too. He kept hitting people with vehicles. Oh, yeah, that's terrible. Rather than following the traditional college trajectory, many high school graduates are choosing vocational training and trade schools, recognizing that these careers offer faster and more affordable education and stable, high-paying jobs. This trend is evident in surging enrollment across construction, HVAC, and automotive repair programs. Today's emerging skilled workers embrace technology as a catalyst for their careers. Far from seeing AI-powered automation and RAS as threats, they recognize these tools as powerful allies that amplify their capabilities. This synergy between human expertise and advanced technology is creating remarkable new career pathways in the trades, opportunities that are unimaginable just a few years ago. To attract and retain this new wave of talent, business leaders must actively reposition the skilled trades, not as a fallback option, but as a technology-driven, high-growth career path. By leveraging automation, AI, and digital tools, they can create workplaces that are both appealing and sustainable, ensuring that trades careers remain an attractive and viable choice for future generations. Not every company out there is going to have the state-of-the-art anything, state-of-the-art machinery, all that stuff. They don't go out and they don't blow money like that. So they should not blow smoke, where the sun don't shine for these kids. Don't be like, oh yeah, it's all iPads and AI out there, because it's not. It's hard work, physical labor, and use your brain. Don't rely on the stupid computer to think for you. 3 different people in 3 different vehicles? There's a truck, golf cart, and Segway. Wow. Somebody needs to go get more training there. Take some driver training courses or something. The convergence of technological innovation and strategic leadership is reshaping the skilled trades in profound ways. Companies that embrace automation, AI, and robotics as a service are not just overcoming labor shortages, they are pioneering a new era of efficiency, scalability, and workforce empowerment. However, technology alone cannot drive change. Success depends on leaders who communicate the value of innovation, invest in workforce development, and cultivate a culture where human expertise and automation thrive together. The skilled trades are no longer simply about manual labor. They are evolving into technology-powered industries that will define the future of economic growth. Those who embrace transformation today will lead not only in efficiency and competitiveness, but also in shaping a more resilient and dynamic workforce for generations to come. Yeah, okay. I'm just happy if I'm able to replace something that was built in the 1960s. I work at an older facility. We have pumps and such from the 1960s. And if I can get something bought for me that's new, I'm happy with that. Never mind, AI, robotics, and all this other kind of garbage they're trying to sell me here in automation. I need stuff that's at least was built in the 21st century to replace the stuff that's obsolete now and aging out. So it's not going to be like that at every company. So don't lie to the kids. It is hard work. Yep, something a lot of kids are afraid of. Yep, 100% irate, 100%. And it falls onto the parents. Teach your kids. Don't be afraid of hard work. There's nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with hard work. Nothing wrong with getting your hands dirty. And it toughens you up. So earlier on, David Glenn had told me about the duct tape he used to help fix up his dishwasher, and I was like, you know what? I've had to order some of that as well. So I went to this place called Uline. I don't know if you guys have this in the U.S., but as you can see, they've got duct tape. They've got Uline brand duct tape. They got Nashua. They got Gorilla duct tape. They've got the 3M stuff. Yeah, ours kids take many things literally. Yes, they do. They've got to learn to understand subtlety and such. So here's this thing. Yeah, they got 3M. They got gaffer's tape. They got foil tape, aluminum foil tape, and metallized mylar tape. I've never heard of that before, but that's pretty neat. So the stuff that I got was this 3M, but 3M, where is it? Residue free. So if you ever have trouble, you know how duct tape leaves a residue, all that sticky residue and whatever they use for an adhesive. This stuff says it's a strong adhesive with residue-free removal for up to 6 months. Waterproof and weather resistant, and it's polyethylene coated filament backing with acrylic adhesive. But the residue-free, that is neat. I've never heard of that before. But yes, residue-free duct tape. For all you guys out there that use it, that is available. So if that's something that you need to worry about, whether it's having residue left over and you have to scrape it off or wash it off after or whatever you have to do, use a razor blade, this stuff is supposed to be residue-free. Then there's like Extreme Hold. This stuff, 2 times thicker adhesive for bundling wood, repairing vacuum hoses, and patching holes. When you don't want residue, you use that blue painter. Yeah, I know the stuff you're talking about, Irate. Yep, you betcha. This stuff, Extreme Hold. That's pretty awesome. What else do we got here? High performance, seals ducts with high-tack moisture-resistant tape. UV-resistant outdoor, performance plus, nuclear grade. It's pronounced nuclear. Nuclear grade duct tape. Used in nuclear plants for sealing, insulation, or wrapping pipe ends. Strong waterproof blocks, backing, resists UV moisture and rain. Moves cleanly for up to 6 months. Handles temperatures up to 200 Fahrenheit. Nice. Nuclear grade duct tape. DJ Ronnie G, if you're still around, you might want to look into this. I know how you like your nuclear. And that's just the 3M stuff. Is that like Kung Fu grip? With real Kung Fu grip. This metallized mylar, this looks neat. Comes in silver or gold. Durable metallized polyester film will not discolor. UV and solvent resistant. Reflects heat and light. Resists temperatures up to 300 Fahrenheit. Wow, that's really good. Metallized mylar. Yeah. There's so many regulations in a nuclear plant, at least in Western countries. You talk to a lady that worked in one in Russian. Very lax on safety there. Yeah, I could see that. Oh, it is okay. Just use the gum and put it in there. Don't let it dip on you. It's all right. Oh, they got Gorilla Tape. You know it's good when these guys are selling Gorilla Tape. $20 a roll, though. White or black, 17 mils. Gorilla Repair Tape. It's clear. It's 7 mils. You have to buy minimum 4 rolls. Huh. Early American and Soviet reactors were hilarious. Oh, yeah, now they are. Not there at the time. All right. Well, you know what? It's picture time. It's picture time. So we're going to go for it now, guys. Show a few pictures. They were manually operated by teams of men who would basically insert or withdraw metal pipes in order to increase or reduce criticality. There you go, Ronnie. Yep, that's the stuff. You may purchase Gorilla Tape. Don't expect a gorilla to deliver it. Yeah, that's right, Doris. told you a story of a coworker that worked on his tan in the core. He would sit in the lawn chair and, oh man, what? Oh, get yourself irradiated. What? I have nice healthy tan. My other head, it likes it. I growing third arm. Some cases the men would have to measure their dose and manage it. Yeah. Yeah, I bet. Okay, but yeah, let's switch over. Picture time, picture time. Like that. And like that. Just capture this display here. And here. All right, so the title of the stream was A Leak? Yes, a leak. And when valves leak, it's not good, especially when you are using H2S, hydrogen sulfide, or methane, or anything like that. You don't want it leaking out of the packing. But down here, so this blue thing here, this is an air-powered actuator. It'll open and close the valve. So you turn a ball valve, the air flows in the top here, and it turns the stem down here, and it opens the valve and lets the material flow through. That's what it looks like without the actuator on it. You can see here, this was the problem today. This packing nut is down as far as it can go. We have no more adjustment. So what has to happen now is this valve needs to be removed and replaced. So I know it looks big in the picture, but these holes here are like, what, 1/4 inch, maybe 3/16 in diameter. Very small. So there's the actuator removed on the table. Not much to it, really. There's the end that goes over the stem. Or actually, that goes over the stem. That goes inside. That's the adapter. So it's a square into a slotted, which goes over the stem and turns the valve. There's what it looks like from standing back. So there's that picture I had before of that one. So there's a couple in here. Got this one, this one, this one. And you can see it's all labeled. There's N2, that's nitrogen. So that's an inert gas, but it's also an asphyxiant, which means it will displace the oxygen and you will pass out. There's H2S, hydrogen sulfide. That one kills you. There's a flare, so that goes to the flare stack to get rid of excess gases. And then there's methane. So all the good gases you could possibly want are there. So if you have a leak, which we did in this valve had a leak, and where is it? This one up here had a leak. So the packings had to be tightened, which was okay because they still had enough adjustment on them. It was this one that didn't have any more adjustment. So that one has to be removed. And then on the other side, same thing. You have your valves with their air-powered openers. You can see this one is closed. If they're red, they're closed. But they are all over the place. Sharp makes them. Habonim makes them. But yeah, as you can see, hydrogen sulfide, once again, methane, flare, all the gases in here, nitrogen. Oh, okay, so that was it for pictures of this anyway. But yeah, When there's a leak, it's not good. I also have a video here I can show you guys. Get that. Okay, well, do that. We'll make that big so you guys can see it. So we'll get a look at that. There's the tubing it connects. So the room does have a gas monitor in it, Irate. Yeah, if the guys are letting out too much, or if there's when they fill their cylinders, if they let out too much, they'll set off the plant alarm that there's an H2S leak. So yes, it's got its own, I'm pretty sure it's got its own gas monitor, and the guys wear their own personal ones as well. So there you go, just showing you where it runs to. But yeah, so that's got to be disconnected. And that'll be removed. And you can see it's a 3-part valve too. 1, 2, 3. So this thing can be completely disassembled. And parts can be swapped out. I'm pretty sure I have some rebuild kits. So I'll be rebuilding this and making sure that it does not leak anymore. Because we don't want leaks, because those are dangerous. Yeah, so you can see the picture of the actuator. There's the tubing that goes to the... that's a gauge. It's facing the outside. Yeah, and there's the one I was working on today. It's got the yellow around here to signify that it's leaking. So if there's ever a leak, the first thing the guys do is put a yellow tag around it. They tag it that it's leaking, and that's how we all know that it needs to be repaired. So yeah, there's so what I have to do now is I have to wait for this thing to be purged. So they have to purge all the lines. As you can see, there's a lot of tubing. They got to purge it all to get rid of all the noxious gases. They'll purge it with nitrogen, and then once it's clean, I can go in there and I can line break, so I can open the line, because that's what you call it when you disconnect a piece of tubing or whatever. You're line breaking. So you line break, you take it off, which I'll probably have to take off up here, right here at this T. You use we assumed you use a portable gas monitor to find the leak, since you don't. No, they use some soap. They use soap for it. Yeah. So that's we have a lot of stuff. It's called Snoop. That's the brand name, but it's for finding leaks and such like that. And so the guys used it. I know it's not wet right now, but I did go over it with a rag to wipe all the stuff off. And then yeah. So yeah, we'll disconnect from there. Well, I won't have to go over there. Yeah, right there. I'll have to disconnect it right there from the wall. And then the other one, and it should come right out. And then once that's out, I'll just grab a new one that we have, throw it in, make sure the packing is good. Throw the actuator back on, and then those guys will give it a try. They'll leak check it first. They'll flood the whole system with nitrogen. Spray it down to see if there's any bubbles. If there is, gonna have to tighten it down some more. If not, we're good to go. And then they can continue on. They'll fire back up and start filling hydrogen sulfide cylinders. So that's how that's gonna go. And I'll probably be doing that tomorrow. So I thought you guys might be interested about that today. It's amazing that the leaks that you find, or the leaks that they find, can cause so much trouble, and they need to be taken care of right away. Because it can just get worse and worse. And usually what happens, it's because of the cold. So because there is a strong, and I don't know if you could hear it in the video, but a very strong exhaust fan exists that pulls a lot of air out of that room. And it makes it cold in there. And the packing does not like the cold. So if it gets too cold, the packing shrinks, and it allows some of the gases to leak by. So that's one of the things to deal with. It's temperature dealing with packing. It will cause trouble. So you just got to be aware that that is something that can happen in the extreme climates that we live in. Some of us, some of us live in places where it goes, below 0 Celsius on a lot of occasions, or minus 18 Fahrenheit, whatever you want it to be. You have to take that into consideration, especially when things are, especially when things are outside. Yeah, and this is just the tiniest actuator. It fits in your hand. And it's just held on with these 4 small bolts here. And I think I used a 1/4-inch wrench on them, because that's how small they were. No, 8 mil. It was 8 millimeter, so even less than that. So yeah, so it's that's why it's important to take care of leaks, because they will come back to get you. All right. Well, I think that's about it for today, everybody. Also, when you tighten those fittings up, when it's cold, they will get tighter, and when it heats up, it can make them harder to take off. Yes, Irate, 100%. You know exactly. So it's a game. It's almost like a game to play. Okay, if this heats up, what's going to happen? They're going to expand. Okay, yeah. Okay, well, if it's cold, these are going to contract. All right, and then you're going to have to come by and be careful not to tighten them up too much, because then it expands again. And yeah, a lot of stuff breaks due to temperature change. And there's a lot of temperature change in some places. So many tools. Yeah, you bet, Ars. Got lots of tools. You definitely need them for what you get into. For what I get into, you need lots of tools. A lot of wrenches, gear wrenches are great. I love the invention of the gear wrench. Very good idea. It sure helps out a lot. Those are some of my favorite wrenches to use. Same with the dead blow hammer. Whoever decided that was a good idea to put like lead shot inside of a hammer to stop it from bouncing around. Good idea. There's a lot of good tools out there. But yeah, hey, if you guys could do me a favor, I know I'm glad you all stuck around so long. Hey, hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. Spread the word, tell your friends, let them know old Pop's here. If they like to, if they want to come to the most industrial stream on a Tuesday night at 7 o'clock Mountain Time, that's great. I have to make that disclaimer because there might be other industrial streams out there that I don't know about. You would make things just over finger tight in the wintertime to prevent that issue. It's mostly hot and for. I got you, Irate. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, sometimes it's company policy though. I know there's been times they've sent things out and they've been like, okay, you have to make this thing tool tight. It can't just be finger tight, or a certain torque spec Okay, this has to be torqued down. All right, how many inch pounds or foot pounds or what's it going to be? So there's also that to deal with. You start getting into stuff like that. Torque specs. Lots of 10 millimeter sockets and wrenches. Yeah, David, that seems to be very common. 10 mil. Yeah, a lot of that metric stuff, they just go with the 10 mil. But I have both up here. I have both imperial and metrics, wrenches, sockets, all that kind of stuff. So prepared for whatever might get thrown at me. You have a few things that need the torque spec. Yeah, there you go. I don't know if I showed you guys. Did I? I wonder if I showed you guys that picture of that one I went around. I had to do the manway on a vessel, and I think it had like 24 studs. It was crazy. Let me check. Maybe I've got it. I'm just going to check for this, see if I have them. I thought I did. You guys in Canada use a lot of those square screwdrivers. You like them? They hold the screw better than Phillips. Yes. Invented in Canada, the Robertson screw. That's what it was called. They call it the Robertson screw. Or in the U.S., they call it recessed square. I guess they don't want to give Robertson any credit for it. But anyways, yes, I like the Robertson screw. They're great. They're better for positive turning, and they don't slip like a Phillips does. Okay, I think I found something here. At least one of them. I'll just capture the screen. You're renaming it to the American screw bit. Okay, that's not it. There's the old vessel. And there's the new vessel. And there it is right there. That's the end I had to. And you can see what I did is I got a bolt circle and I numbered them all, because that's how you do it. You have to do it in a certain bolt circle pattern. 1, 2, 3, and then, so forth. You go through back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. But there's 24. And I had to go around this thing, and the torque, you can't quite see it, but it was 505 foot-pounds. So I had to go get the, 5-foot-long torque wrench that goes up to 600 pounds. And I had to use that to torque each and every one of these down. And you have to go over it and over it until nothing turns anymore. So man, oh man, that took a good part of the day to get that done. I just don't want to have to do it again when they open it up. But I was smart. I put some Never Seas on the threads, because I know it would be rough to open it up otherwise afterwards. So in the future, maybe future me will thank me, right? That's a problem for future me, and now I'm future me. Well, hopefully this helps me in the future. But yeah, 24 studs all around. Man, it was crazy. And I think it was 1 inch 13/16 socket, I think. Pretty damn big anyway. But yeah, brand new vessel. And with brand new vessel, you got to put all the placards on it and everything like that. And these are all heaters. It's because you you activate and you move things around with pressure differential. So if you heat up the vessel, you heat it up and the pressure builds, and then you can just go that way through the pipes using differential pressure. Oh, your favorite anti-seize is the copper one? You like copper coat? Yeah, they got copper coat. They got nickel coat, so you can coat stuff with nickel. I can't remember. I bought some Loctite anti-seize. I think it was silver anti-seize. Anyways, it was something that couldn't have any sulfide in it, so I had to buy that. That was pretty good. Gee, let me check here. Nope. Just checking to see if I have close-ups of that Manway. Probably not. Probably not going to be that easy to find. I don't want to take forever to find it for you guys. So, see if I can find it next time, or off stream. I'll find it off stream and see if I can bring that up. You got to be careful with silver. It can leach into your body and turn your skin blue if you use it too. Yes, I've heard of that, Irate. Yes, I have heard of that. No, but I always wear my nitrile gloves. I don't want to get my skin desensitized to the chemicals and all that, so I will use nitrile gloves to protect myself from that stuff. And you don't want to have to try to once you get it on you, it's hard to get off. So once again, use your PPE, use your gloves and everything like that, and that'll help. All right, guys. It was good. What a good night. Appreciate you guys stopping by. I mean, it's a fun time. Like I said, please hit that like button. Tell everybody. Make sure you spread the word. Hey, if you're in the trades, you got to listen to this guy. He might not know what he's talking about, but you can always correct him. Got to go. Okay, Aris. Thanks for coming out, man. Good to see you. I'm going to wrap it up here anyway, too. It's good to have you stop by. There's other good channels out there, too. People I've watched and enjoy. Just like Pacific 414 and our own DJ Ronnie G, who is in the chat. There's Brandon, the anime guy. There's Carl at the RNG podcast. He was on earlier. There's Tom B. He's the bloke from across the ocean there in Britain. There's Angry Canadian, Notorial Lifeform. There's everyone's favorite Penguin, Punkwaddle. I was watched his Penguin positivity before I started my stream today. It's always a breath of fresh air to hear somebody have some positive thoughts, you know? I always like that about Punkwaddle. And then there's Infinite Metal. He's on Twitch and Kick, and he's fun to watch because he plays his retro games, and he also has his pet dragon Skelly that mocks him as he plays the game. So that's really funny too to watch. He's very entertaining. Instant Karma just went outside. Add water, makes its own sauce. Felt like Canada outside, DJ? Well, hey, that's good. If it feels like it, you should be used to it, eh? Come on up. Actually, New York, you're going to be pretty chilly because it's very humid down there. You're right by the ocean, so. Here in the prairies, we're not near the ocean, and it's very dry cold. So it doesn't cut through you as much unless the wind picks up. Coming up, you guys, Saturday, Retro Game Day. I am still slogging through Yu-Gi-Oh! Nightmare Troubadour. I have got to fix up my card deck so that I can beat these guys and their silly cards that just wreck me. So I've got to do that. I hope you guys will join me then. And, come and see me try to take these guys down. You've been playing a retro game. They could be fun, especially when you have to fight hippies. Take that, you dirty hippie! Yeah, you say that when you're playing it, Irate? That's right. We gotta knock heads. Fight some hippies. Sunday. Sunday is Anime Chat Day. You guys know that. Sunday's always Anime Chat Day. The theme for this month is superheroes. Japanese superheroes in anime. You guys got to join me and we can go over some shows where they showcase some superheroes. So that's a fun time. And I hope to see you guys then. And then right away, we're back to Tuesday, and that's Trades Talk again. And I'll have more pictures and such, and more stories and of being in the skilled trades, and more commentary about what it's like and what to expect, and how these guys have pie in the sky dreams of AI and automation that really doesn't happen out there in the real world. You just got a part of a Star Trek PC game to work. I've been playing because I have a retro PC that I fixed up that was left here. I fixed it up, and I've got running Windows 98, and I've been playing Dominion Wars and Deep Space Nine: The Fallen, if you can believe it. Man, it's been such a long time since I have, and it's great. Hippies do be dirty. Oh, it was in a Windows 95 virtual box. Okay, DJ. You started streaming, so you wasn't the weird guy talking to himself? Yeah, right. There you go. Okay. So you're streaming too, eh, Irate? Okay. I want to catch that sometime. Connect with you on Discord to help grow my audience. I'm okay growing it the way I am. I don't need to get huge. Occasionally, it's real late at night after work. Oh, that's why I don't see you on. Okay. Because by the time you're playing after work, I'm probably snoozing. Oh, 12 a.m. Eastern? Okay. That's 10 o'clock my time. So, yeah, that's like the time I go to bed. I maintain that, around 10 o'clock going to sleep, and then getting up at 5:30 in the morning. So, wake up at 5:30 in the morning, go to work, come home, do all the stuff that I need to do, sleep by 10:30, or roughly around there. Depending if I get sucked into the YouTube shorts, because I find that sucks you in, and that's a big time suck right there. So I got to be careful about that. Yeah, same. Yeah, David, you'd be asleep by then. That's the same for me too. But I do want to catch you, Irate. I do want to catch you streaming. You've been playing Earthbound. It's weird. Oh yeah. The X shorts suck you in? Okay, yeah. Well, I was one of those guys that never downloaded TikTok. I never watched TikTok. So with all this talk about it going away and being banned and then coming back, it was like, I don't care. None of this affected me at all. Replays are up. Okay, good. Good. Is it just on YouTube? I mean, you can put your link in the chat there, because why not? If you guys haven't seen Irate stream, now's our chance. You made a basic VTube model. Oh! You sometimes dual stream to Rumble. Ah, okay. Yeah, I do too. I do YouTube, Twitch, Rumble, and Kick. I try to cover a lot of the bases. Just because you never know who's gonna, if I'm gonna get kicked off one or whatever. Who knows? I try not to be too awful, but you never know who's gonna get offended by what, I guess. Actually, you know what? Why don't I just do that right now? Why don't I just look for... There you go. There you go. That's the stuff. There you go, everybody. This is Irate Specialists. He's got 21 subscribers. Let's get him up to 30 if we can. Earthbound. Yeah, I heard it's a pretty strange game. It's custom music you made? You made that? Nice. There you go. Thanks, David. Thanks for that. Subscribe to Irate Specialist on YouTube. Tell Bob you said hi. But yeah, Earthbound. Nice. Oh yes, there's your Rumble and Twitter. He also edits clips for Floral from Under a Rock. Yes, I you know what? I probably knew that. I think I might have heard Floral mention it before. He says it's acceptable this year. Yeah, good stuff. Outtakes, funny moments, fails. Fortnite. Oh yes, Fortnite. Well, that's good. Right on, Irate. All right. Yeah, that's it for me tonight, you guys. I am done for the night. Like I say, I had a good time. I hope you did too. I hope you'll join me on Saturdays. If not, come on back here. We'll do some more trades talk. You can join me on the most industrial stream on a Tuesday night at 7. So I hope I see you guys soon. But until then, I've been Pop, and I am signing off.